Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Om Adhyanaatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Vaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Vipa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Bhutale Prabhupada Titiya Shri Girirajaya Swami Subhadra Rasvihariya Bhakti Chakmadaya. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityananda. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Namaste Shri Radhikacharya Shatali Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangham Nagayati Girim Nakutata Maham Vande Shri Guru Vinataranam. So we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 2 and Text 17. Shri Shuka Uvacha. Together. Iti lalananu yinayati visharado gramya vedagdhyaya paribhashayatam vibuddha vadhum vibuddha mate adhisa bhajayam asa. Shukdev Goswami continued, Maharaj Agnidra, whose intelligence was like that of a demigod, knew the art of flattering women to win them to his side. He therefore pleased that celestial girl with his lusty words and gained her favor. purport. Since King Agnidra was a devotee, he actually had no attraction for material enjoyment. But because he wanted a wife or progeny, and Lord Brahma had sent Purvachiti for this purpose, he expertly pleased her with flattering words. Women are attracted by a man's flattering words. One who is expert in this art of flattery is called Vidagdha. You know, Krishna is also who addressed him as Vidagdha. So this is all perverted. Krishna is the upright Vidagdha. Text 18. Sa cha tatastasya virayutha patirbuddhishila rupavayah Shriya udharyena parakshipta manastena sahayuta yuta Parivatatsaropalakshanam kalam jambudvipa patina bhuma swarga bhogan bubheje. Attracted by the intelligence, learning, youth, beauty, behavior, opulence and magnanimity of Agnidhra, the king of Jambudvip and master of all heroes. Purvachiti lived with him for many thousands of years and luxuriously enjoyed both worldly and heavenly happiness. By the grace of Lord Brahma, King Agnidhra and the heavenly girl Purvachiti found their union quite suitable. Thus they enjoyed worldly and heavenly happiness for many thousands of years. Tasya muhava atmajam sarajavara Agnidhro nabhi kim purusha Hari varshe labrita ramyaka Hiranmaya Kuru Bhadraswa Ketumala Samyam Nava Putran Ajanayat. In the womb of Purvachiti, Maharaj Agnidhra, the best of kings, begot 9 sons named Nabhi, Kim Purush, Harivarsh, Ilavrita, Ramyak, Hiranmay, Kuru, Bhadrashva and Ketumal. Text 20. Sa sutvatha sutan nabanu vasaram griha eva pahai purvachitir bhuya eva jam devam upataste. Purvachiti gave birth to these 9 sons, 1 each year. But after they grew up, he left them at home and again approached Lord Brahma to worship him. Therefore, there are many instances in which Apsaras, heavenly angels, have descended to this earth by the order of a superior demigod like Lord Brahma or Lord Indra, have followed the demigod's order by marrying someone and giving birth to children, and have then returned to their celestial homes. For example, after Menaka, the celestial woman who had come to delude Vishwamitra Muni, gave birth to the child Shakuntala. She left both the child and her husband and returned to the heavenly planets. Purvachiti didn't remain permanently with Maharaj Agnidhra. After cooperating in his household affairs, she left Maharaj Agnidhra and all 9 sons and returned to Brahma to worship him. Text 21. Agnidhra sutaste matur anugrahat autpatti kenaiva samhanana balopita pitra vibhakta atma tuliya namani yatha bhagam jampu dvipa varshani bubhujyo. Because of drinking the breast milk of their mother, the 9 sons of Agnidhra naturally had strong, well-built bodies. Their father gave them each a kingdom in a different part of Jambudvip. The kingdoms were named according to the names of the sun. Thus the sons of Agnidra rule the kingdoms they received from their father. The Acharya specifically mentioned that in this verse the words Matuhu Anugrahat, or the mercy of their father, of their mother, refer to the breast milk of their mother. In India, it is a common belief that if a baby is fed his mother's weak milk for at least 6 months, his body will be very strong. Besides that, it is mentioned herein that all the sons of Agnidra were endowed with the nature of their mother. Bhagavad Gita also declares, Srishu Dushtashu Varshneya Jayate Varna Sankara. When women are polluted, Varna Sankara, unqualified children are generated. And when the Varna Sankara population increases, the entire world becomes hellish. Therefore, according to Manu Samhita, a woman needs a great deal of protection in order to remain pure and chaste, so that her children can be fully engaged for the benefit of human society. So, mother's milk, okay, no bottled milk. Text 22. Agnidro Raja Tripta Kamanam Apsarasam Evanudinam Adhi Manyamanastasya Salokatam Shritibhir Avarundha Yatra Pitaro Madayante. Translation. After Purvachiti's departure, King Agnidra, his lusty desires not at all satisfied, always thought of her. You know, it's like you could say she left the body, right? You could say like this, that she left the body. So she left the body, but after it's not like this. So in our case, it's like she left the body and she went back to wherever.
It is said that she went to worship Lord Brahma.
Yes.
And then here it is mentioned in Pitrulok.
Sorry?
She went to Pitrulok.
Yeah, to worship Lord Brahma, right?
In Pitrulok.
Yeah. That's how she came to him.
They stay everywhere.
Wherever, in Indralok, wherever. They stay everywhere.
And
In Swargalok.
no,
Sorry? No, they do. No. After Purvachiti's departure, King Agnidra, his lusty desire not at all satisfied, always thought of her. Therefore, in accordance with the Vedic injunctions, the king, after his death, was promoted to the same planet as his wife. That planet, which is called Pitrilok, is where the Pitas, the forefathers, live in great delight. Purport. If one always thinks of something, he certainly gets a related body after death. Maharaj Agnidra was always thinking of Pitrilok, the place where his wife had returned. Because she came from there, right? King Agnidra, he was doing tapasya in order to have a wife from Pitrilok. Because he wanted a child, so that he can go to Pitrilok. So he left behind so many sons who will do Pinda dance so that he can stay in Pitrilok. That planet.
His wife went to Pitrilok just like that.
Yeah, because she came from there. Lord Brahma sent her. Remember,
Yes.
the king wanted a son so that he can go to Pitrilok. So that tapasya was fulfilled by Lord Brahma sending Purvachiti, who is from Pitrilok. So she went back to her residence. So because she went back there, then he also went there. Because he was thinking of her, so he reached that same planet. See the whole system, right? Yeah, the whole system. So he wanted to go to Pitrilok. So how will he go to Pitrilok? He needs to live behind sons. So how will he get a son? He needs a wife, right? You understand like the whole system? He wants to go to Pitrilok. How will he go to Pitrilok? He has to get a son because he has no son. He cannot stay in Pitrilok. He cannot even get there. Right? Because his sons have to do Pindadan so that he can stay there. Right? So long as the sons are, so unless the sons are dharmic, right? They won't do. So he will fall down. Right? So he got the sons, he got 9 sons, and then see the whole mechanism, right? The whole mechanism. So he went there to Pitrilok. That planet which is called Pitrilok is where the Pitas, the forefathers, live in great delight. If one always thinks of something, he certainly gets a related body after death. Maharaj Agnidra was always thinking of Pitrilok, the place where his wife had returned. Therefore, after his death, he achieved that same planet, probably to live with her again. Prabhupada said probably to live with her again. Bhagavad Gita also says, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajante ante kalevaram tam tam ivaiti konteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. Bhagavad Gita 8.6. We can naturally conclude that if we always think of Krishna or become fully Krishna conscious, we can be promoted to the planet of Golok Vrindavan, where Krishna eternally lives. Right.
Mataji, I just wanted to know because I always felt that it was it's just a saying that husband and wife stay together for 7 lifetimes. Is it true?
Yeah, we read somewhere, right?
But then sometimes the husband may die early or the wife may die early, and then next birth, how is it decided?
I have no idea.
And again,
I have no idea. Even here, Prabhupada said most probably to live with her. He says probably. He did not say yes for sure. I have no idea how it works, calculation and all that. I have no idea. So, text 23. Samparete pitari nava bharataro meru dhutri meru devim pratirupam ugradam strim latam ramyam shamam narim bhadram deva vitim iti samgya navadavahan. After the departure of his father, the 9 sons married the 9 daughters of Meru, named Meru Devi, Pratirupa, Ugradamstri, Lata, Ramya, Shama, Nari, Bhadra, and Devaviti. So please don't forget that all these names, they are actually in the geography. Alright? They are in the geography of this universe. Right? So astronomers will know all this. We read how King Priyavrata, he followed behind the sun and he created so many islands, right? So they are there. I don't understand. This is all astronomy. So these names also, these kings.
They are there, no Varsha. They are each Varsha, no Mataji?
Yeah, or Varsha, yeah. So how it is visible, I don't know. All this Ketumala, but all this, because we are not seeing, right?
It's not visible, Mataji. It's like this.
Yeah.
You don't see it actually. It's horizontally.
Yeah, but astronomers are seeing so many things in the sky, right? They must be seeing something. They don't know what it is. They don't know, but they are seeing. So they give names, right? So these daughters, Meru Devi, Pratirupa, Ugradamstri, Lata, Ramya, Shama, Nari, Bhadra, Devaviti, they also have certain qualities, right? Like we're going to read later on. Like in Kim Purusha, something is happening. What do they do there? In Harivarsh, they do something here, right? Each and every place in the universe, wherever you go, there is something specific about it. Like here we find that King Agnidra, he wanted to go to Pitrilok because something was attracting him there. We don't know, right? Here Prabhupada has given us Krishna Lok, giving full description of Krishna Lok and Vaikuntha Lok, and attracting us to go to Vrindavan, Vrindavan, Golok, Vaikuntha, maybe Ayodhya, right? We're getting information about this. But here in the material world, there is something in each and every planet, and these names, they're feminine, right? They're like stars, something like that. So because the husbands are all in the Varshas, right? They're ruling this Varsha. So their wives also has some role to play in this because it is combined. Text 3. Rishabdev's appearance in the womb of Meru Devi, the wife of King Nabhi. In this chapter, the spotless character of King Nabhi, the oldest son of Agnidra, is described. Wanting to have sons, Maharaj Nabhi underwent severe austerities and penances. He performed many sacrifices along with his wife and worshipped Lord Vishnu, master of all sacrifices. Being very kind to his devotee, the Supreme Person Godhead was very pleased with the austerities of Maharaj Nabhi. He personally appeared before the king in his four-handed feature, and the priests who were performing the sacrifices began to offer their prayers unto him. They prayed for his son like the Lord, and Lord Vishnu agreed to take birth in the womb of Meru Devi, the wife of King Nabhi, and incarnate as King Rishabdev. So text 1. Shri Shuka Uvacha Nabirapatya Kamo Prajaya Meru Devya Bhagavantam Yagya Purusham Avahitatmaya Jata. Shri Shukadev Goswami continued to speak. Maharaj Nabhi, the son of Agnidra, wished to have sons, and therefore he attentively began to offer prayers and worship the Supreme Person Godhead Lord Vishnu, the master and enjoyer of all sacrifices. Maharaj Nabhi's wife Meru Devi, who had not given birth to any children at that time, also worshipped Lord Vishnu along with her husband. Tasya havava shradhaya vishuddha bhavena yajata pravargyeshu pracharatsu dravya desha kala mantrartvig dikshina vidhana yogo pattapatya duradhigamo hi bhagavan bhagavat vatsalyataya supratikah atmahanam अपराजितं निज जनाभिप्रेताथ विधित्सया गृहीता हृदयोहृदयङ्गमं मनोनयनः नन्दनावयवाभिरामम् अवीक्षकार. I hope we have pronounced something right. Anyway, what to do? In the performance of a sacrifice, there are 7 transcendental means to obtain the mercy of the Supreme Personal Godhead. Number 1, by sacrificing valuable things or eatables. 2, by acting in terms of place. 3, by acting in terms of time. 4, by offering hymns. 5, by going through the priest. 6, by offering gifts to the priest. 7, by observing the regulative principles. However, one cannot always obtain the Supreme Lord through this paraphernalia. Nonetheless, the Lord is affectionate to his devotee. Therefore, when Maharaj Nabhi, who was a devotee, worshipped and offered prayers to the Lord with great faith and devotion, and with a pure uncontaminated mind, superficially performing some yagya in the line of Pravargya, the kind Supreme Person Godhead, due to his affection for his devotees, appeared before King Nabhi in his unconquerable and captivating form with 4 hands. In this way, to fulfill the desire of his devotee, the Supreme Person of Godhead manifested himself in his beautiful body before his devotee. This body pleases the mind and eyes of the devotee. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita is clearly said, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschashmi tadvatah tato mam tadvato gyadva vishate tad anantaram. One can understand the Supreme Personality as he is only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of the Supreme Lord by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. One can understand and see the Supreme Person Godhead through the process of devotional service and not in any other way. Although Maharaj Nabhi performed prescribed duties and sacrifices, it should still be considered that the Lord appeared before him not due to his sacrifices, but because of his devotional service. It was for this reason that the Lord agreed to appear before him in his beautiful bodily features. As stated in Brahma Samhita 5.30, the Supreme Lord in his original nature is very beautiful. Venum kanantam aravindaralayataksham barhavatam samasitam buddha sundarangam. The Supreme Personality Godhead, although blackish, is very, very beautiful. Right.
Mataji, I have a question. Here in the translation it is mentioned there are 7 transcendental means to obtain mercy of the Lord. First is by sacrificing valuable things, second by acting in terms of place, and third by time. So what does that mean? Acting in terms of place?
Well, Desh Kala Patra, right? Usually there is so many consideration when they do sacrifices. It should be the appropriate place. So I guess for it to be effective, for the Havan to be effective, it should be right, not where people are drinking wine, right? Isn't it? It should be in the proper place. Whereas Prabhupada took the Harinam Sankirtan where? Where?
People are drinking wine.
Yeah. Okay. In terms of time also you have to look at Muhurt.
So in Kali Yuga it is Sankirtan yet Gyoti.
So in Kali Yuga, because all this is happening, right? So therefore, this Sankirtan is very powerful. No niyam, right? No niyam. You can chant it everywhere, anywhere. This is very powerful. But the yagya that King Nabhi performed is not so powerful. So therefore it is dependent on whether you have sufficient wealth. Right? You should have sufficient wealth. Remember, for the Rajasuya sacrifice, Arjuna had to go and collect so much wealth. Gold, yeah. And then tons and tons of grains. Your small kg of grain, what will it do? Right? Everybody will have to empty their, household. Right? If we say we are going to do a yagya, Hare Krishna, and we're going to do a yagya, we have to go begging to everybody's house, right? Give the grains, right? How many will give? 500 rupees they don't want to give. 1,000 they don't want to give, right? Right, so this is what we say by something valuable, right? Tons of grains, sesame seed, right? Ghee, oh, how much it costs per kg ghee, right? by sacrificing valuable things or eatables, sesame, grains, right? The hymns, offering hymns, the mantras should be perfectly pronounced, not like the way we read. Right? Has to be proper, perfect pronunciation. By offering hymns, by going through the priests, right? There has to be a purohit, a proper qualified purohit. Where is it? Dakshina, Ritvik, they are called Ritvik. Priest conducting the ceremony, then Dakshina, gifts. Now, so it is not only one priest that you are inviting, right? Hundreds. So you should have sufficient, right, to give Dakshina to all these priests. Then what else? Observing the regulatory principles, yes. Vidhana. So it is a technology, you could say. It is a technology, it is sacrifice, it's a method. See, the scientists, they use rockets, right? But here this is a more subtle science. Now they produce test tube baby, right? They take somebody's man, woman, separate, right? And they produce a child, right? But here also the king wants a child. So he's got a different system, right? But it is a technique. So they wanted the children. So actually the point here is that it's not that because, King Nabhi put all these grains, did all this, that's why the Lord appeared. No, he didn't come because of this. He came out of affection for King Nabhi. He was not interested in all this. All right, let's take another shot at text 3. Let's do our best, okay?
Which meter we don't
I have no idea. This is all prose. Whatever I've heard, others sing, I'm singing same. Athahatam avishkrita bhuja yugala dvayam hiranmayam purusha Vishesham kapisha kausheyambara dharam urushi vilasach Shri Vatsal lalaman Daravara vana ruha vana malachuryamrita mani gadadhibhir Upalakshitam sphuta kirana pravara mukutta kundala Kataka kati sutrahara keyura nupuradi anga bhushana vibhushitam ritrik sadasya griha patayo dhana ivottama dhanam upalabhya sabahumanam arhanena vanata Shirashana upatasthu. It looks like it's a description of Vishnu, right? But it sounded very nice, right? Because we're reciting, describing the form of Vishnu. I'm sure that's what it was. So let's read. Lord Vishnu appeared before King Nabhi with 4 arms. Okay? Avishkrita Bhuja Yugala Dvayam, who manifested himself with 4 arms. Hiranmayam, very bright. He was very bright and he appeared to be the best of all personalities, Purushottam. Around the lower portion of his body, he wore a yellow silken garment. On his chest was the mark of Shivatsa, which always displays beauty. He carried a conch shell, lotus flower, a disc, right, and a club. And he wore a garland of forest flowers and the Kastuba gem, Vanamala. He was beautifully decorated with a helmet, earrings, bangles, belt, pearl necklace, armlets, ankle belts, and other bodily ornaments bedecked with radiant jewels. Seeing the Lord present before them, King Nabhi and his priests and associates felt just like poor people who had suddenly attained great riches. They received the Lord and respectfully bent their heads and offered him things in worship. So this is exactly like the deity worship, when you do the deity installation. This is what we do, right? So we do the Abhishek, we do everything, and then the Lord appears, we decorate him, right? So when he comes, he appears. So what do? We immediately bow down. It is distinctly mentioned here that the Supreme Person Godhead didn't appear as an ordinary human being. He appeared before King Nabhi and his associates as the best of all personalities, Purushottama. As stated in the Vedas, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. The Supreme Person Godhead is also a living being, but he is the supreme living being. In Bhagavad Gita 7.7, Lord Krishna himself says, Mata Parataram Nanyat Kinchit Asti Dhananjaya. O conqueror of wealth, Arjuna, there is no truth superior to me. No one is more attractive or more authoritative than Lord Krishna. That is one of the differences between God and an ordinary living being. According to this description of the transcendental body of the Lord Vishnu, the Lord can easily be distinguished from all other living beings. Consequently, Maharaj Nabhi and his priests and associates all offered Lord obeisances and began to worship him with various things, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 6.22. Yam latva chaparam labham manyate nadhikam tataha. That is, upon gaining this one thing, there is no greater gain. When one realizes God and sees the Lord face to face, one certainly thinks that he has gained the best of all things. Rasopi asya param drishva nivartate. When one experiences a higher taste, his consciousness is fixed. After seeing the Supreme Person Godhead, one ceases to be attracted by anything material. One then remains steady in his worship of the Supreme Person Godhead. Text 4 and 5. Ritvija uchuhu arhasi muhur arhatamarthahanam asmakam anupathanam namo namma ityetavad sad upakshikshitam korhati puman prakriti guna Vyatikaramatiraniša Ishvarasya Parasya Prakriti Purushayor Arvakta Nabhi Nama Rupakriti Bhi Rupa Nirupanam Sakala Jana Nikaya Vrijina Nirasana Shiva Tamam Pravara Guna Ganeika Desha Kathanadrite. Alright, so now you can read. I've run out of voice.
The priest began to offer prayers to the Lord, saying, O most worshipable one, we are simply your servants. Although you are full in yourself, please, out of your causeless mercy, accept a little service from us, your eternal servants. We are not actually aware of your transcendental form, but we can simply offer our respectful obeisances again and again, as instructed by the Vedic literatures and authorized acharyas. Materialistic living entities are very much attracted to the modes of material nature, and therefore they are never perfect, but you are above the jurisdiction of all material conceptions. Your name, form, and qualities are all transcendental and beyond the conception of experimental knowledge. Indeed, who can conceive of you? In the material world, we can perceive only material names and qualities. We have no other power than to offer our respectful obeisances and prayers unto you, the transcendental person. The chanting of your auspicious transcendental qualities will wipe out the sins of all mankind. That is a most auspicious activity for us, and we can thus partially understand your supernatural position. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has nothing to do with material perception. Even the impersonalist Shankaracharya says, Narayana Paro Vyaktat. Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is beyond material conception. We cannot concoct the form and attributes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We must simply accept the description given in Vedic literatures about the Lord's form and activities, as stated in Brahma Samhita 5.29. Chintamani prakar sadma shukalpa vriksha laksha vriteshu surabhirabhipalayantam lakshmi sahasra shatasambhrama sevyam Adipurusham tamaham bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor, who is tending the cows, yielding all desires in abodes built with spiritual gems and surrounded by millions of purpose trees. He is always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. We can have some conception of the absolute truth, his form and his attributes, simply by reading the descriptions given in Vedic literatures and authoritative statements given by exalted personalities like Brahma, Narada, Shukdev Goswami and others. Srila Rupa Goswami says, Ataha Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahyam indriyai. We cannot conceive the name, form and qualities of Shri Krishna through our material senses. Because of this, other names for the Lord are Adhokshaja and Aprakrita, which indicate that he is beyond any material senses. Out of his causeless mercy upon his devotees, the Lord appeared before Maharaja Nabhi. Similarly, when we are engaged in the Lord's devotional service, the Lord reveals himself to us. Sevon mukhe jihvado swayam eva svaratyadaham. This is the only way to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati Yavanyas-chashmi Tattvatah. One can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service. There is no other way. We have to hear from the authorities and from the Shastras and consider the Supreme Lord in terms of their statements. We cannot imagine or concoct forms and attributes of the Lord.
So this, we are aware. So again and again Prabhupada is explaining this point about what is this form of the Lord, right? We can't invent. We actually cannot invent any form or any pastime of the Lord, right? Can I write a story about the pastime of the Lord? Like we write movies, right? So according to our own life, we write a story about Krishna, Ramchandra. Usually, actually, what they do, these movie people, what do? They
make stories based on the Vedic literature.
Yeah, correct. The base is the Vedic story, but from where will they get the imagination, right? And actually, all our lives is simply perversion of the perfect one, right? All our life. Same, if you read Nectar of Devotion, Vidagdha Madhava, right? All these emotions, everything it's shown perfectly in the spiritual world, but when it's reflected invertedly, pervertedly. So here, Prabhupada say we cannot concoct the form and attributes of the Supreme Person Godhead. We must simply accept the description given in Vedic literatures about the Lord's form and activities. So this is very, very, very important. I'm sure here we don't have any problem about this, right? We all know what is a deity form. Right now, the Supreme Lord has appeared in that yagya. And I'm saying, and I said before that for us, is the deity, three-dimensional deity, right? Who we are doing the sthapna, right? So when finally he appears, so before sthapna and after sthapna, right? The deity is different. You can feel it, you can see it. Those who are doing the worship know that. So I cannot just take anything and say, okay, this is God. Text 6. Parijananuraga virikshita shabala samshabda shalila sita kishalaya tulasika durvankurapi sambritaya saparyaya kila parama paritushyasi. All right.
Translation. O Supreme Lord, you are full. O Supreme Lord, you are full in every respect. You are certainly very satisfied when your devotees offer you prayers with faltering voices and in ecstasy bring you tulasi leaves, water, twigs bearing new leaves and newly grown grass. This surely makes you satisfied. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. One does not need great wealth, education or opulence to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If one is fully absorbed in love and ecstasy, he need offer only a flower and a little water. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yomi Bhaktaya Prayachati. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit or a water, I will accept it. Bhagavad Gita 9.26. The Supreme Lord can be pleased only by devotional service. Therefore, it is said here that the Lord is surely satisfied by devotion and nothing else. Quoting from Gautamiya Tantra, the Hari Bhakti Vilasa states, Tulasi Dala Mantrena Jalasya Kulakena Chulukena Va Vikrinitehe Swam Atmanam Bhakte Abhyo Bhakta Vatsalah. Shri Krishna, who is very affectionate toward his devotees, sells himself to a devotee who offers merrily a tulasi leaf and a palm full of water. The Supreme Lord is causelessly merciful upon his devotee, so much so that even the poorest of men can offer him a little water and a flower in devotion and thus please him. This is due to his affectionate dealings with his devotees. Jayatu Bhaya Samuchitam Aratam Ibalam Balam
Upalam
In your worship,
We have engaged in your worship with many things. Oops. We have engaged in your worship with many things and have offered sacrifices unto you, but we think that there is no need for so many arrangements to please your lordship. Purport. Srila Rupa Goswami say that if one is offered varied foods but has no appetite, the offering has no value. In a big sacrificial ceremony, there can be many things accumulated to satisfy that Supreme Personality of Godhead. But if there is no devotion, attachment, or love for the Lord, the arrangement is useless. Give an example. Give an example.
Duryodhan.
Yeah. Right? Duryodhan, yeah. Duryodhan, he prepared an elaborate feast. You can go this way. He prepared an elaborate feast. Krishna says, I have no appetite. I'm not hungry, right? Then, I don't know, Dhritarashtra say, come to my house. Right? No. Then, Vidur, Mahatma Vidur said, come to my house. So when we invite Krishna, right? We're not going to get servants to cook for our Krishna, right? Isn't it? When we have installed the deity in our homes, we're not going to get servants to cook for him, right? Right? Is it true?
That's what usually we have servants at home, no? I mean, in general, people have. So Mother is saying.
No, even I have, but I do the cooking. Even I have.
Yeah, I'm saying cooking. Who's going? Yeah, you're not going to have servants cook for him, right? You are the pujari, right? You are the cook. Otherwise, why call him? He won't eat. Right? He won't eat. Right? The Lord is complete. So, if there is no devotion, attachment, or love for the Lord, the arrangement is useless. Right? Your servant will keep on bugging you. You didn't pay me. You haven't paid me yet. You think Krishna will eat? Right? The Lord is complete in Himself and He doesn't need anything from us. So He hasn't come here, just to eat. That's the Lord's business, to sit in your house and just eat. Right? The Lord is complete in Himself and He does not need anything from us. However, if we offer Him a little water, a flower and a tulsi leaf, He will accept them. Bhakti, devotional service, is the main way to satisfy the Supreme Person Godhead. It is not a question of arranging huge sacrifices. The priests were regretful, thinking that they were not on the path of devotional service and that their sacrifice was not pleasing to the Lord. Text 8. No, we pluck.
We can.
Yeah.
When we do the offering, we need liquid.
Yes. Yeah.
Also, the manjaris that grow,
Yeah.
we need to trim them out.
Yes.
Like the
Yeah.
plant.
Yes. Text 8. Atmanaivanus savanam anjasa vyatirekena bubhuyamana shesha Purushartha swarupasya kintu natha shisha asasananam etad abhisamradhana matram bhavitum arhati. All of life's goals and opulences are directly, self-sufficiently, unceasingly, and unlimitedly increasing in you at every moment. Indeed, your unlimited enjoyment and blissful existence itself As far as we are concerned, O Lord, we are always after material enjoyment. You do not need all these sacrificial arrangements, but they are meant for us so that we may be benedicted by your Lordship. All these sacrifices are performed for our fruitive results, and they are not actually needed by you. Alright. Why are we doing so much? It's just for our own self. It's not for Krishna. He doesn't need all this, right? Being self-sufficient, the Supreme Lord does not need huge sacrifices. Fruitive activity for a more opulent life is for those who desire such material opulence for their interest. Yagyarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. If you do not act to satisfy the Supreme Lord, we engage in Maya's activities. We may construct a gorgeous temple and spend thousands of dollars, but such a temple is not required by the Lord. The Lord has many millions of temples for his residence, and he doesn't need our attempt. He doesn't require opulent activity at all. Such engagement is meant for our benefit. If we engage our money in constructing a gorgeous temple, we are freed from the reactions of our endeavors. Alright. This is for our benefit. In addition, if we attempt to do something nice for the Supreme Lord, he is pleased with us and gives us his benediction. In conclusion, the gorgeous arrangements are not for the Lord's sake, but for our own. If we somehow or other receive blessings and benedictions from the Lord, our consciousness can be purified and we can become eligible to return home back to Godhead. So why Prabhupada is building these temples?
So that we get purified when we engage our money and we serve the Lord.
Yeah. So that people can give their
Hard-earned money.
Yes, Prabhupada is saying here, they can, yes, so that they are freed from the reactions of their endeavors. Alright, text 9. Tad yatha balishanam swayam atmana shreya param avidusham parama Parama Purusha Prakarsha Karunaya Swamahimanam Chapa Vargakyam Upakalpayishyan Swayam Napachita Evetaravad Ihopalakshitaha. O Lord of Lords, we are completely ignorant of the execution of Dharma, Arkam and Moksha, the process of liberation, because we do not actually know the goal of life. You have appeared personally before us like a person soliciting worship, but actually you are here just so we can see you. You have come out of your abundant and causeless mercy in order to serve our purpose, our interest, and give us the benefit of your personal glory called Apavarga, liberation. You have come although you are not properly worshipped by us due to our ignorance. Lord Vishnu was personally present at the sacrificial arena, but this doesn't mean he had any interest in his own personal benefit, right? You call somebody and the person comes because he's thinking maybe he gets something out of you, right? Right? When you call somebody, why? Maybe he will get something out, right? But here, Lord Vishnu came, no motivation at all, right? Similarly, the Archa Vigraha, the deity in the temple, is present for the same purpose. Out of His causeless mercy, the Supreme Person Godhead presents Himself before us so that we can see Him. Since we have no transcendental vision, we cannot see the spiritual Satchid Anand Vigraha of the Lord. Therefore, out of His causeless mercy, He comes in a form we can see. We can only see material things like stone and wood, and therefore He accepts a form of stone and wood, and thus accepts our service in the temple. This is an exhibition of the Lord's causeless mercy. Although He has no interest in such things, in order to receive our loving service, He agrees to act as He does. We cannot actually offer suitable paraphernalia for the Lord's worship because we are completely ignorant. It is out of His causeless mercy that the Lord appeared in the sacrificial arena of Maharaj Nabhi. Alright, so this is about what? What is this? About this section is about what? Yeah. About Archa Vigraha. Alright. Prabhupada is explaining, elaborating about Archa Vigraha. Text 10. Athayamevavarohi arhatama yarhi barhishi rajarshe varadarashabho bhavanija purushe kshana vishaya asit. O most worshipable of all, you are the best of all benefactors, and your appearance at saintly King Nabhi's sacrificial arena is meant for our benediction, for our benediction. Because you have been seen by us, you have bestowed upon us the most valuable benediction. Nija Purusha Ikshana Vishaya. In Bhagavad Gita 9.29, Krishna says, Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. The Supreme Person Godhead is equal to everyone. In that sense, He has no enemies and no friends. Everyone is enjoying the fruitive reactions of his own work, and the Lord within everyone's heart is observing and giving everyone the desired result. However, just as the devotees are always anxious to see the Supreme Lord satisfied in every way, similarly the Supreme Lord is very anxious to present Himself before His devotees. Shri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 4.8, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I advent myself millennium after millennium. Thus, Krishna's appearance is for the deliverance and satisfaction of His devotees. Actually, He does not advent Himself simply to kill the demons, for that can be done by His agents. Lord Vishnu's appearance at the sacrificial arena of Maharaj Nabhi was just to please the king and his assistants. Otherwise, there was no reason for his being present there. So, one last verse. Text 11. Asanga nishita jnananala vidhuta shesha malanam bhavat swabhavanam atma ramanam muninam anavarata paripunita gunagana parama mangalayana gunagana kathanusi. Dear Lord, all the great sages who are thoughtful and saintly persons incessantly recount your spiritual qualities. These sages have already burnt up all the unlimited dirty things, and by the fire of knowledge strengthened their detachment from the material world. Thus they have attained your qualities and are self-satisfied. Yet even for those who feel spiritual bliss in chanting your attributes, your personal presence is very rare. So we are chanting, right? We are chanting, but Krishna is invisible. All right? The priests in Maharaj Nabhi's sacrificial arena appreciated the personal presence of the Supreme Lord Vishnu, and they considered themselves very much obliged. The Lord's appearance is rare even for great saintly persons who have become completely detached from this material world and whose hearts are clean due to constantly chanting the glories of the Lord. Such people are satisfied by chanting the transcendental qualities of the Lord. The Lord's personal presence is not actually required. The priests are pointing out that the Lord's personal presence is very rare even for such elevated sages, but that he was so kind to them that now he was personally present. Therefore, the priests were very much obliged. The Lord's personal presence is not actually required. The priests are pointing out that the Lord's personal presence is very rare even for such elevated sages, but that he was so kind to them that now he was personally present. Yes, so we are chanting. We are chanting and hoping that we'll be able to attract the attention of the Supreme Lord. Alright, so this is the story of King Rishabhdev. Rishabhdev is the Shaktiavesh avatar of the Supreme Lord. Okay, so we'll stop here. Do you want to continue and finish this chapter? Alright, but no Sanskrit. You want to read the Sanskrit?
Yeah, Mataji, let us read.
You read the Sanskrit.
Closes eyes.
Then you have to sit here for half an hour. That's why I'm asking.
This chapter is short, but 20 verses only. There are only 10 more verses.
Yes, that's why I'm saying. So if we read this, okay, let's do it. Since somebody said, let's chant the holy name. All right. 12. Atha kvathanchit sakskalana shitpatana jimbrana duravasthana dishu vivasanam naha smaranaya jwara marana dashayam api sakala kashmala nirasanani tavaguna krita nama dheyani vachana gucharani bhavantu. Okay, fatafat.
Dear Lord, we may not be able to remember your name, form and qualities due to stumbling, hunger, falling down, yawning or being in a miserable disease condition at the time of death, when there is a high fever. We therefore pray unto you, O Lord, for you are very affectionate to your devotees. Please help us remember you and utter your holy names, attributes and activities, which can dispel all the reactions to our sinful lives. The real success in life is Ante Narayana Smriti, remembering the holy name, attributes, activities and form of the Lord at the time of death. Although we may be engaged in the Lord's devotional service in the temple, material conditions are so tough and inevitable that we may forget the Lord at the time of death due to a disease condition or mental derangement. Therefore, we should pray to the Lord to be able to remember His lotus feet without fail at the time of death. When we are in such a precarious condition, in this regard, one may also see Srimad Bhagavatam 6.2.9 and 10 and 14-15.
ईश्वरमाशिषां स्वर्गापवर्गयो रपि भवन्तम् उपधावति प्रजायाम् अर्थप्रत्ययो धनमदिवा धनफलीकरणम्. Dear Lord, here is the great King Nabi, whose ultimate goal in life is to have a son like you. Your Lordship, his position is like that of a person approaching a very rich man and begging for a little grain. Maharaj Nabi is so desirous of having a son that he is worshipping you for a son, although you can offer him any exalted position, including elevation to the heavenly planets or liberation back to Godhead. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The priests were a little ashamed that King Nabi was performing a great sacrifice just to ask the Lord's benediction for a son. The Lord could offer him promotion to the heavenly planets or the Vaikuntha planets. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught us how to approach the Supreme Lord and ask Him for the ultimate benediction. He said, Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitamava jagadish kamaye. He did not want to ask the Supreme Lord for anything material. Material opulence means riches, a nice family, a good wife, and many followers. But an intelligent devotee doesn't ask the Supreme Lord for anything material. His only prayer is Mama Janmani Janmani Sware Bhavatad Bhaktir Ahetuki Tvai. He wants to be engaged perpetually in the loving service of the Lord. He does not want promotion to the heavenly planets or mukti, liberation from material bondage. If this were the case, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not have said Mama Janmani Janmani. It doesn't matter to a devotee whether or not he takes birth, life after life, as long as he remains a devotee. Actually, eternal liberty means returning home back to Godhead. A devotee is never concerned about anything material. Although Nabi Maharaj wanted a son like Vishnu, wanting a son like God is also a form of sense gratification. A pure devotee wants only to engage in the Lord's loving service. Hare Krishna.
माया वनावशिता पदावनावृता मतिर् विषया विषरयानावृता प्रकृतिरनुपासिता महाक्षरणः. Translation. Dear Lord, unless one worships the lotus feet of great devotees, one will be conquered by the illusionary energy, and his intelligence will be bewildered. Indeed, who has not been carried away by the waves of material enjoyment, which are like poison? Your illusionary energy is unconquerable. No one can see the path of this material energy or tell how it is working. Purport. Maharaj Nabi was inclined to performing great sacrifices for begetting a son. A son might be as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but such a material desire, be it great or insignificant, is brought about by the influence of Maya. A devotee does not at all desire anything for sense gratification. Devotion is therefore explained as devoid of material desires, anyabhilashita shunya. Everyone is subjected to the influence of Maya and entangled in all kinds of material desire, and Maharaj Nabi was no exception. Freedom from Maya's influence is possible when one engages in the service of great devotees, Mahacharana Seva. Without worshipping the lotus feet of a great devotee, one cannot be freed from Maya's influence. Sri Narottam Das Thakur therefore says, Chadiya Vaishnava Seva Nishtara Paye Chekeba. Who has been freed from Maya's clutches without serving the lotus feet of a Vaishnava? Maya is aparajita and her influence is also aparajita, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.14. Devi hi esha gunamai mama maya durataya. This divine energy of mine, consisting of three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. Only a devotee can surpass Maya's great influence. It was no fault on Maharaj Nabhi's part that he wanted a son. He wanted a son like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the best of all sons. By the association of Lord's devotee, one no longer desires material opulence. This is confirmed in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.54. Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Koye, Love Matra Sadhu Sange, Shorbo Siddhi Hoy. And Madhya Leela 22.51. Mahat Kripa Vinakona Karme Bhakti Naya, Krishna Bhakti Dure Rahu Samsara Naye Chaya. If one is serious about escaping Maya's influence and returning home back to Godhead, one must associate with a sadhu devotee. That is the verdict of all scriptures. By the slight association of a devotee, one can be freed from the clutches of Maya. Without the mercy of a pure devotee, one cannot get freedom by any means. Certainly, a pure devotee's association is necessary in order to obtain the loving service of the Lord. One cannot be freed from Maya's clutches without sadhu sangha, the benediction of a great devotee. In Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.3 through 3.2, Prahlad Maharaj says, Naisham matis tavat urukramangrim sprishtasi anartha pagamo yat arthah mahi yasam pada rajo bhishekam nishkinchananam na vrinita yavat. One cannot overcome the Lord's pure devotee one cannot become the Lord's pure devotee without taking the dust of a great devotee on his head. Pada Rajo Bhishekam. A pure devotee is Nishkinchana. He has no material desire to enjoy the material world. One has to take a shelter of such a pure devotee in order to attain his qualities. The pure devotee is always free from the clutches of Maya and her influence. Hare Krishna.
Yadva vavatava punar adharbara kartariya samahutasta tatrata adiyam madananam nastatyateva helanam deva evashi. Translation. O Lord, you perform many wonderful activities. Translation. O Lord, you perform many wonderful activities. Our only aim was to acquire a son by performing this great sacrifice. Therefore, our intelligence is not very sharp. We are not experienced in asserting life's goal, By inviting you to this negligible sacrifice for some material motive, we have certainly committed a great offense at your lotus feet. Therefore, O Lord of Lords, please excuse our offenses because of your causeless mercy and equal mind. Purport. The priests were certainly unhappy to have called the Supreme Lord from Vaikuntha for such an insignificant reason. A pure devotee never wants to see the Lords unnecessarily. The Lord is engaged in various activities, and the pure devotee does not want to see him whimsically for his own sense gratification. The pure devotee simply depends on the Lord's mercy, and when the Lord is pleased, he can see him face to face. The Lord is unseen by men, by demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. By calling on the Supreme Lord, the priests of Nabi Maharaj proved themselves unintelligent. Nonetheless, the Lord came out of his causeless mercy. All of them therefore wanted to be excused by the Lord. Worship of the Supreme Lord for material gain is not approved by the authorities, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 7.16. Chaturvida bhajante mama jana sukritino arjuna artho jignasaur artharthi jnani